Hi everyone, Alan from Newlands Pets, and in all honesty, as we hit record on this video, I'm not entirely sure what it's called. But yesterday we had a customer come in who I've known for a long time, getting a new puppy, and she felt very pressured to feed a particular way and was getting really confused by the advice she was given. Now that's very common, and it's a video that I haven't done for a little while really. But when you're choosing how to feed your dog or your cat, we've always said a huge amount of that choice is really down to you. Does it fit in with your lifestyle? Does it fit in with your budget? Does it fit in how you want to feed, or your thoughts on how to feed a dog? That is so important. Of course, number one really on the list has to be, does it suit your dog? That's obvious, but that's something that often we find. You can find a dry food that suits your dog, you can find a raw food that suits your dog, or a wet food, or a combination, or however you want to feed. But you choosing how you want to feed is so important. It's become more and more common for people to come in and they are super confused about how to feed. That is, to be honest, particularly about raw, because they've been told you have to feed this on this day and this on that day, and if the moon is shining on a Tuesday you have to feed this, and they make it so complicated, and feeding raw doesn't have to be. What we find is that you can feed very simply. You can feed raw quite simply just by defrosting and feeding, if you choose the right product that's going to suit your dog, suit your budget, suit you. And raw isn't the only way to feed. You can feed fantastic dry food, you can feed fantastic wet food. So don't necessarily be pressured into feeding how someone thinks you should feed. Whether that's us in this shop, and I'm fairly certain we don't push any particular way of feeding on someone, but it's us in this shop or anyone in the wider world really. It is your dog and it's your decision to make. And how I likened it to this person is exactly like when I took my children to nursery. Everyone had their idea on how you should feed your child. And it's no different really, it's the same with dogs. Apart from with dogs, there's loads more complicated information out there. And hopefully what we aim to do is take away that complication and tell you clearly and concisely what your choices are, how you can do it, and whether it's going to fit in with you, because not every way of feeding suits every single dog or every single household. So if you have got questions about how you want to feed, you want to change the way you're feeding, or you want to feed a different way, get in contact. We're here to help. See you soon.